Level 1, the Addict. It's 1 a.m. and the house is quiet. Your parents are asleep. School starts in 6 hours. You haven't touched the homework on your desk in 3 days. You don't care. You are ranked 47th in your region, and nobody in this house knows what that means. Your father thinks it means you're wasting time. Your mother thinks it's a phase. Your teacher called again yesterday about your attendance. You queue again. 6 p.m. became midnight, became 2 a.m., and you didn't feel it happen. That's how you know this is real. Time only disappears when something matters. Your mother locked the router at 10 p.m. You found the password in 3 days. Your father moved the setup to the living room. You moved it back while he was at work. They think you're being difficult. You're not. You're being exact. Every hour they take is an hour someone ranked 46th is using. Every night they cut short is a night your mechanics fall behind. The school calls on Tuesday, 4 missed classes. Your mother stands in the doorway, asks what is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong. Everything in this room is right. You say nothing. She says the setup gets sold if you fail. You say okay. She waits for more. You turn back to the screen. Friday night, your father walks in at 1 a.m. and takes the keyboard without a word. No speech, just picks it up and leaves. You sit at the empty desk in the dark. You have a tournament in 3 days. $500 prize pool. You're seeded 4th and you know you can win it. You practice every match in your head without a keyboard. 6 a.m., he leaves for work. You find it behind the cereal boxes, back online by 6:04. The tournament is in 3 days. You haven't told anyone. Level 2, the grinder. You win the tournament. $500 hits an account you made without telling your parents. You stare at the number for a long time. It's not about the money yet, it's about the proof. You're 15 now, ranked 12th in your region. The gap between you and the top 10 is not talent, it's hours. So you build a schedule nobody gave you. Wake up at 7, school, home by 3, online by 3:15, stop at 2 a.m., repeat. Your grades don't recover. You stop pretending they will. Online you find others like you. A community of players grinding the same ladder, chasing the same ceiling. You study the ones above you, how they move, how they think, how they make decisions 3 seconds before you do. You enter every tournament you find, $200 here, $350 there. One weekend, you win $800 in 2 days. You don't spend it, you stack it. Your parents think you're failing at everything. You're failing at everything they can see. At everything they can't see, you're building something real. By 16, you've made $4,200 in 8 months. From a bedroom, from a game, nobody knows. You keep your head down at school just enough to stay enrolled, C's and D's, enough to avoid the conversation that ends with them selling everything. The money sits untouched. You're not saving it, you're waiting. Level 3, the noticed. It comes from a DM at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday. A semi-pro team, small org, regional presence, 4 players, and a coach who used to compete at a decent level. They've been watching your ranked games for 3 weeks. They've seen the decision-making, the consistency under pressure, the mechanics that don't break when the match gets close. They want to trial you. You read the message 4 times. You don't respond immediately. You check their record first. Tournament results, roster history, reputation in the community, nothing suspicious. Small but legitimate. You respond at midnight. 1 word. When. The trial is a weekend boot camp 2 cities away. 6 players competing for 2 open spots. You tell your parents you're staying at a friend's place for the weekend. Your mother asks which friend. You give her a name. She doesn't check. You take a bus alone with a backpack and your own mouse. The apartment they rented is nothing impressive. 4 monitors crowding the living room. Takeout boxes stacked near the door. Energy drink cans on every flat surface. The coach is 24 years old and takes this more seriously than any adult you've met in a classroom. You play for 2 days straight. You lose games. That's not the point. The point is how you lose them. Whether you tilt, whether your decisions fall apart when the pressure builds, whether you can absorb a mistake and perform the very next round like it never happened, you can. Sunday evening, the coach pulls you aside. The apartment is quiet. The other players are packing their bags. He tells you your mechanics are already there. Says what separates you is that you don't panic. Says that's not teachable. He says you're on the trial roster. $1,500 a month. You are 16 years old and someone is paying you to play. You take the bus home that night, city lights passing outside the window, mouse in your backpack, $1,500 a month in your head. You still haven't told your parents. You're not sure how to explain something they spent 3 years trying to stop. Level 4, the signed. You tell your parents on a Thursday night after dinner. You don't build up to it. You just put the contract on the table. Your father picks it up, reads it slowly. Your mother reads it over his shoulder. The kitchen is completely silent except for the hum of the refrigerator. $2,800 a month base salary. Tournament bonuses on top. A 6-month contract with renewal options. Your father puts it down, asks if this is real. You say yes. He asks how long this has been happening. You tell him about the tournaments, the $4,200 you saved, the trial weekend, all of it. Everything you kept in that bedroom for 2 years while they were trying to shut it down. Your mother doesn't say anything for a long time. Your father asks what happens when it ends. What happens when you're not good enough anymore? What about school? What about a real career? You don't have clean answers. You have a contract with a real number on it and a ranked position that keeps climbing, and a coach who said your ceiling isn't visible yet. You tell him you need 6 months. Just let you try. He looks at the contract again. He doesn't say yes. He doesn't say no. He folds it carefully and slides it back across the table and tells you that you better not waste it. That's the closest to permission you've ever gotten from him. You sign the contract the next morning. $2,800 a month. More than your first year of grinding combined. Paid monthly, legitimate. You are 17 years old. The bedroom that got you grounded 100 times just became your office. Level 5. The gaming house. The house fits 6 players, 1 coach, and an analyst who sleeps 4 hours a night. You move in on a Sunday with 2 bags. Clothes, peripherals, a pillow from home. Your mother stands at the door of your bedroom before you leave. Looks at the empty desk. Doesn't say much. Just tells you to eat properly. You tell her you will. You both know you won't. The gaming house is 40 minutes from your hometown. A rented property with a team room on the ground floor, 6 monitors in a row, mechanical keyboards, chairs that cost more than your first 3 tournament winnings combined. The schedule is on the wall the day you arrive. 7 a.m. wake up, 8 a.m. breakfast, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. structured practice, 1 p.m. review session, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. ranked grinding, 8 p.m. team scrimmage against other orgs, 10 p.m. VOD review, 11 p.m. sleep. You laugh when you first read it. The coach asks what's funny. You stop laughing. This is harder than school ever was. Not because the game is hard, because doing it right, doing it at this level, with this structure, with someone breaking down every decision you made and explaining exactly why it cost you, that requires a different kind of discipline than grinding alone at 2 a.m. ever did. Your salary moves to $4,200 a month at the start of month 2. Performance clause in the contract. You hit the metric. The money adjusts. You send $500 home without explaining why. Your mother calls and asks what it's for. You tell her groceries. She's quiet for a moment. She says thank you. You hang up and queue for the next scrimmage. Level 6. The breakthrough. The tournament is in Berlin. 3 days, 32 teams, a prize pool of $400,000. You fly for the first time in your life. Window seat. Clouds below you. Your mouse in your carry-on, because you don't trust it in the hold. The coach is 2 rows back, reviewing VODs on his laptop. Nobody sleeps. The arena holds 8,000 people. You walk out for the first match, and the noise hits you like a wall. Screens everywhere. Your tag on the bracket, cameras tracking every movement. You sit down, put your headset on, and remind yourself it's the same game you've been playing since you were 13 in a dark bedroom. Same game, different room. You win the first match without dropping a single round. The second match goes to overtime. You make one decision in the final 30 seconds that the caster replays 4 times. The crowd reacts to it before you've even processed what you did. Your team makes the semifinals, then the final. You lose the final. 1 round. 1 mistake in the last 60 seconds that you will replay in your head for the next 3 months. Second place. Your cut of the prize pool is $38,000, transferred to your account on a Tuesday morning. You stare at the number for a long time. Then you call your father. He picks up on the second ring. You tell him the result. Tell him the number. The line goes quiet for a moment. He says, say that again. You say it again. He doesn't say he was wrong. That's not who he is. But his voice does something it hasn't done in years. It goes soft. Level 7. The brand. The email comes 2 weeks after Berlin, an energy drink company. Mid-size, growing fast, targeting the gaming demographic hard. They watch the tournament. Watch the clip of that play get shared 400,000 times in 48 hours. They want your face on their product. $8,000 for 3 sponsored posts. You read it 3 times. Forward it to your org manager. He negotiates it to $12,000 and a quarterly deal with performance bonuses. You sign it on a Friday afternoon between practice sessions. Then the Peripherals brand, a mouse company that wants you using their product on stream. $5,000 upfront plus royalties on a signature model they want to develop with you. Then an apparel deal, a gaming chair company, a supplement brand. By the end of the month, you have 4 active sponsorships. The money coming in is no longer just salary, it's layered. Base pay, tournament cuts, brand deals, stream revenue. Some months, the brand money alone doubles your salary. You are 19 years old, and you are making $18,000 in a good month. But something shifts quietly underneath all of it. You can't have a bad game on stream anymore. Can't tilt visibly. Can't lose 3 matches in a row without the comments filling up with people tagging the sponsor. You're not just a player now. You're a product with a reputation attached to other people's money. You smile for photos when you don't feel like smiling. You post content on days you'd rather just play. You perform being yourself. And slowly, without noticing exactly when it starts, you forget what yourself actually looks like without the camera on. Level 8. The peak. The new contract takes 3 weeks to negotiate. When it's done, your org manager calls you personally. Not a message, a call. That's how you know the number is serious. $16,000 a month base salary, performance bonuses, tournament cuts, relocation package to a Tier 1 facility with a nutritionist, a sports psychologist, and a physical trainer on staff. You are 20 years old. You sign on a Monday morning and sit quietly for a while after. The facility is nothing like the first gaming house. This is a professional operation. Recovery room, film room, a chef who prepares meals around your practice schedule, staff whose entire job is making sure you perform at the highest level possible. You video call your parents that evening. Your father looks older than you remembered. Your mother has the same expression she always has when she sees your face on a screen. Relief. Like she needed to confirm you're still there. You tell them the number. Your father is quiet for a long time. You think about the keyboard he hid behind the cereal boxes, the router she locked at 10 p.m., the calls from school, the contract on the kitchen table that he folded and slid back without saying yes or no. He asks if you need anything, you tell him no. Then you tell him you're flying them out next month. Hotel, flights, everything covered. You want them in the arena. Your mother covers her mouth with her hand. Your father looks away from the camera for a moment. When he looks back, his jaw is tight the way it gets when he won't let himself cry. You remember being 13 in the dark. You remember every keyboard they took. Level 9, the cost. Your hands start hurting in October, not during matches, after them. A dull ache that starts in your fingers and settles into your wrists by evening. You shake it off. Stretch. Buy a new wrist rest. Tell nobody. By November, it's there during matches too. You don't tell the coach. Don't tell the org. Don't tell the sports psychologist whose entire job is to know when something is wrong. You tell yourself it's fatigue. That everyone feels this. That pushing through is what separates the ones who last from the ones who don't. Your reaction time drops 11 milliseconds in December. You notice before anyone else does. You run the numbers yourself at midnight after everyone is asleep. Compare them to your peak 6 months ago. 11 milliseconds is nothing to someone who doesn't understand this game. To someone who does, it's the difference between the decision that wins the round and the decision that loses it. You are 21 years old. A kid just entered the ranked ladder. 17, from a city you've never been to. His clips are circulating in the community the same way yours did 3 years ago. The coach watches them during lunch and doesn't say anything. He doesn't need to. You know the look. You start sleeping badly, lying awake running through matches in your head, not for improvement but from fear. Searching for proof that the numbers are wrong, that the hands are fine, that 11 milliseconds means nothing. Some nights the bedroom feels exactly like it did at 13. Small, dark, everything depending on what happens at that desk. Except now you know what losing it actually costs. Level 10, the other side. The org calls you into a meeting on a Tuesday. Just you and the manager, no coach, no teammates. That's how you know before you sit down. He doesn't make it cruel. He talks about roster decisions, about the direction of the team, about a transition period, professional words that mean one thing. You're being released. You are 22 years old. You walk out of that building into daylight that feels too bright and sit in your car for a long time without starting the engine. You think about the DM at 11 p.m. on a Wednesday, the bus with your mouse in your backpack, the keyboard behind the cereal boxes, 7 years of your life handed back to you in a Tuesday meeting. You don't disappear. You start streaming, building an audience from your name and everything it still means. Some days 40,000 people watch, some days the clip goes viral, and the sponsors come back and the money is still real and the game is still there. You start coaching younger players, 17-year-olds with the same look you had, the same obsession, the same parents who don't understand yet. You tell them what nobody told you, that the game will give you everything: money, identity, purpose, a name on a screen in front of thousands, and that one day it will ask for all of it back. The hands still ache in the mornings. You play anyway. Not for the salary, not for the contract, not for the crowd or the cameras or the sponsors. You play because at 13 years old in a dark bedroom, you found the one thing that made complete sense. And no org can release you from that.